Hope Channel, changing lives.
Hello, my cherished viewers. You are
Good evening and welcome to another episode of The Consulting Room, coming live from the studios of Hope Channel, Ghana. Thank you so much for making another date with us. The Consulting Room is where we bring you all the latest updates and tips on health issues right in your homes. I'm Dr. Na Aikako Inin. And with us today, we have a very, very special guest. I'm sure you get to know him more as the conversation goes on. But with us today in the studio, we have Professor Daniel Ganu, and he is a professor of public health in preventive medicine at the School of Postgraduate Studies at the Adventist University of Africa in Kenya. Prof. Ganu has several other achievements. Time might not permit us to list all of them, but we are very honored to have Prof here with us. Prof, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. I'm sure you're all wondering why Prof is joining us today. We'll be talking all about lifestyle management, all you need to know about it. And Prof has a lot of knowledge and tips for us. So we are very blessed to have him here joining us on the show. And we'll know more about that soon, but we'll go for a quick commercial break. And when we get back, we'll talk to Prof.
Every individual has a story. Stories of social issues such as infertility.
You did not marry your wife only because she's going to give you a child. You married because you loved her. Whatever comes on your plate, you're ready to accept that.
Abuse, obesity, life struggles, and others can be very frustrating. That is why Real Talk is back again with another exciting season where individuals like you can come into our studio or join us virtually to share your story and experience. To share your story, you can reach us through our WhatsApp number at 0559 680 066, or you can email us at hoptvghana@gmail.com. We say don't lock them away. If you ignore them, they can just get angrier and louder.
We learn a lot as we journey through life. Our teachers might be family, neighbors, or even colleagues. But it can be difficult to find a mentor who truly understands our heart, our dreams, our goals. Someone who can help us overcome our deepest challenges. The Bible reveals that God wants to be your closest mentor, teacher, and friend. At Hope Channel, we can help you find freedom, healing, and hope in Jesus, and the wisdom in His Word, the Bible. We pray that the courses at Hope Study will help you find answers to your deepest questions. Let's walk together toward a deeper experience of wisdom and joy.
From the commercial break. As usual, we'd like to hear from you at home. So you can send us your messages on YouTube and Facebook, and then you can join the conversation. So we'll go straight to Prof now. Prof, you're welcome again.
Thank you
Yes.
for having me here.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. So first off, I want to know why preventive medicine? Why that choice in a field of study?
Thank you so much for the question.
Yeah.
I prefer to go in for preventive medicine because that is where you try to not allow the disease to occur. You try to prevent the disease, and we always say that prevention is better than cure, or an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. So if you can prevent something, why wait until the thing comes and then you spend a lot of money trying to cure? So I love prevention.
Okay, yeah. But what does it entail? What does preventive medicine really entail? What does it involve?
You know, there are 4 levels of prevention. We have primordial prevention. Primordial prevention is focused more on the risk factors of diseases in the environment. And we, when we talk about primordial prevention, we focus our attention in taking care of those risk factors in the environment.
Okay.
General risk factors. It's not targeted to any specific person. And we have the second level of prevention, which is the primary prevention.
Okay.
Primary prevention has to do with prevention of occurrence of the disease. You take care of those specific factors that can give you the disease. You try to offset it. You try to obstruct it.
Okay.
So preventive medicine deals with these 2 levels of prevention. Then the other 2 are for the curative medicine. The other 2 are secondary prevention, which is the prevention of progression of the disease. The disease has occurred, but you don't want it to progress, so you stop it. And those are the ones who will go to the hospital, for the doctors to give them drugs to stop the disease. Then the highest or the last level is also called tertiary prevention.
Okay.
We try to prevent disability.
Okay.
The disease has come. We couldn't stop the progression. It has progressed. It has many complications. But how can we make you become functional in order for you not to become a liability? So. And so those 2 levels are more of curative. But the first 2, which is the primordial prevention, and then the primary prevention is for preventive medicine.
Okay.
And since you are there, preventive medicine has strategies that we use. We have health promotion and health education. So we use strategies such as advocacy and policy enactment and counseling and so on and so forth. And our clientele is the population.
Okay, just like what you are doing now, right?
Exactly. Not like a medical doctor who has an individual as their clientele.
Okay. So what are some ways in which we can prevent these diseases?
Good. We call them the determinants of health.
Okay.
And we know them very well. And I want to say that these things have been echoed a lot in the social media, in TV, in many other avenues. Like, if you want to live an optimum health, you have to adopt these determinants: drinking of adequate water,
Okay.
sleeping, having adequate quantity and quality of sleep, exercising, most importantly, nutrition, taking care of your nutrition. So these are some of the determinants of health.
Yeah.
We also have determinant of diseases, which is the opposite, that when you do, you can get diseases. But when you practice this determinant of health, you can have optimum health.
Okay. Okay. So since you mentioned nutrition, let me just go to nutrition a bit. Why is nutrition so important when we are talking about health?
Nutrition is so critical to our health. You know, one French lawyer said in 1826 that, "Tell me what you eat, and I'll tell you what you are." That's a profound statement. And we also know today a phrase which simply says, "You are what you eat."
Yeah.
What it means is that whatever you give to the body, that is what the body will receive and respond to it, whether good or bad. So if you put bad food in the body will receive it and respond to that. If you good food, you know, and throughout our life cycle, nutrition is key in every stage of our life cycle.
Okay.
You know, during developmental stage, you need good nutrition for good developmental outcomes. You know, without good nutrition, you can have a baby that can lack so many things.
Yeah.
And then even our development, even all the way through aging, nutrition play a very critical role.
Yeah.
And so, when we talk about things like processed and refined foods, sugary food, highly salted diet, and so on and so forth, these are not good nutrition. And you know, today, science has it that 90% of the disease we have with us today are as a result of bad nutrition.
Okay.
90%, and that is a very significant statistics. You know, so if we want to live a healthy, optimal life, healthy life, we need to take good care of our nutrition because it plays a very critical role.
Yeah.
From pregnancy all the way to the time we die.
Okay, okay. So we're talking about lifestyle management. How do lifestyle changes impact our health in general?
That's a good question. You know, there has been a very numerous studies that has found a relationship between lifestyle and health. And here, let me define it. I would say that it has a causal relationship.
Okay.
Causal relationship means that if I say A is the cause of B, or A is a cause of B, these are causal relationship. If we go to the first one, A is the cause of B, it means if A is not there, B will not be there. The cause. But when I say that A is a cause of B, it contributes.
Yeah.
It means you can take away A, but there will still be B.
Yeah.
There are so many other causes. Now, these causal relationships are twofold. We have inverse relationship and we have direct relationship, direct or positive relationship. Inverse relationship means that when X or when Y increases, X comes down. That's inverse. So, for example, let me make it more practical.
Yeah.
If you increase your cholesterol intake, your wellness come down.
Okay.
or if you increase your physical inactivity, your wellness comes down. That's inverse relationship. So and its lifestyle, we have so many lifestyle that has negative impact on our health. Now, when we talk about direct or positive relationship, it means that when Y increases, X also increases. For example, when you increase your vegetable intake, your optimum health also goes up. You know, so, and all these other things that can have, it's like saying that this is our independent variable, this is a dependent variable. The independent variable are our lifestyle. Whatever you do, lifestyle, it will have impact on your health.
So basically, Prof, what you're telling us is some diseases change just by the way we live. Like we can have better lifestyles just by what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Exactly. These risk factors, you know, and surprisingly, most of the risk factors for chronic diseases are modifiable. What I mean by modifiable is that we have control over them. For example, unhealthy nutrition or unhealthy diet, inactivity, smoking, alcohol. These are things we have control over. And surprisingly, these are the ones that are the real culprit in causing many chronic or non-communicable diseases. You know, so if we want to avoid many of these chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes and stroke and chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases and cancers, we have control over some of these lifestyle modifiable risk factors. And once, like the relationship, when we bring them down, our health will go up.
Okay. Thank you so much. Are there any myths you've heard concerning preventive medicine?
Yeah,
or
misconceptions.
You can share a few with us.
Exactly. Let me share a few. Some people used to say that I will not go for screening because I am not sick. You know, and that is a myth. The fact that, you know, right now, we can categorize ourselves into three. We have people who are apparently healthy, but they are not healthy. Apparently. There are people who are healthy, and indeed they are healthy. And there are people who are sick, and indeed they are sick. If you want to wait until you see the signs and symptoms of the disease, some diseases you cannot cure anymore. You have, you know, it has gone very far. The apparently healthy people, if we go for screening, even though we are healthy, like you and I are sitting here today, we are healthy, but diseases begin in the cellular level. Some of these screening tests can pick these diseases right at the cellular level. And so we have what we usually say early detection is the best. If you can detect many of these diseases at the early stage, you can easily take care of them. For example, hypertension is one of those. You know, so if you can detect your blood pressure and know where you are at the early stage, it can easily be manageable, even reverse with good nutrition, with good lifestyle modification. So that is one of the myths. I am not sick, so why do I go to the hospital? And they go further by saying that if you go to the hospital, doctors will always find something to tell you. You know, and it's a myth. Let us not deceive ourselves. The number two reason is these diseases do not run in the family, so I don't have it. That's a myth. That's a myth. They don't run through the family, but how about the risk factors that you are adopting, you are living? It can predispose you to some of these diseases. And then another myth is that screening is expensive. You know, and sometimes I used to tell people that, you know, when you go for blood pressure check, for example, it's almost free. But when you wait until you get hypertension, then it becomes extremely expensive. Yeah. The money you will use to buy vegetables and those things for you to get healthy, you think they are expensive. But when a doctor prescribes medication and it costs even 1,000 you buy it. You know, so those are some of the myths that we have regarding preventive medicine.
So I understand, Prof, that you have your own personal story about your health journey. So if you don't mind sharing it with us, hopefully we'll pick a thing or two from it.
We will not stand out. We will not close the program today. Yes, I have a story about my health that you need to hear. And that has motivated me to think about what we will be maybe talking about later. When I was taking my master's degree in public health, and that was the year 2000.
Okay.
One day I found that I have pains in my joint. And that pain, you know, and I was practicing all the determinant of health that we know about. You know, I jog a lot. I do all kinds of things, but this pain continued to increase. And so I went to the hospital and I was told I have what we call rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay.
This is an autoimmune disease. And the progression was so severe that the pain became unbearable. I was put on steroid, prednisolone, and but the disease was not, minimizing. It was really very painful, and so even later I was diagnosed of lupus.
Oh.
So the doctor said, well, I have to be on medication for life. And I said, wow, this is going to be my life. And we came to Ghana 2004, and I was living with this medication. The side effects were so bad. And by then I wasn't a vegetarian.
Okay.
I was eating meat, fish, like we all do. But then, and my wife was so much concerned, and she was always in the net looking for antidote for my condition. One day she ran to me, that was last year, that I found the antidote for your problem. I said, what are you talking about? For 20 years I have lived with this. And she said, watch this video. It was a podcast, an interview by the physician committee in US. They interviewed one medical doctor. She was a cardiologist.
Okay.
And she had rheumatoid arthritis, a very severe form. But then she discovered that plant-based diet can help her, and she was put on plant-based diet.
Okay.
And for about 1 year, she started, going off her medications. And I met her in DC last August.
Okay.
And she's totally okay. So when my wife told me this in August, last 2 years, I also started. I was on prednisolone. I was on HCQ.
Yeah.
I was on folate. I was on painkiller like diclofenac. I was on many medications. So we started practicing vegetarianism, and I could sense that my health is coming back. And the pain was also, diminishing, and so we became complete plant-based diet. We began practicing complete plant-based diet, and I'm off my medication. And so that is why I said earlier on that nutrition plays a critical role in our health.
Yeah.
Wrong nutrition will give you wrong health. Good nutrition will give you good health. And so that has made me have a change of mind. I said, we have this wonderful message. We are not practicing. I have many like me who were also suffering, not probably because of ignorance, but the motivation wasn't there. You know, so that was the journey, my health, the journey of my health.
Okay. Prof, since you mentioned vegetarianism, how easy has it been to be a vegetarian? I know people who want to do it and they claim it's really difficult. How has it been?
Initially, it will be very difficult. You know, you have trained your taste bud with, and most importantly, our local foods like fufu, banku. If there is no meat, fish, it becomes difficult for you to eat. But it's all in the mind. If you tell yourself, I will discipline myself, I can do it, especially when you are aiming for something, you can do it. But the thing is, you know, I usually don't talk about vegetarianism if I don't have the time to also let people know how to practice it.
Okay.
There are many of us who are practicing plant-based diet to our detriment. You know, eating or being a vegetarian, and of course, vegetarianism is a broad word.
Yeah.
There are many types of vegetarianism, but here I'm talking specifically about plant-based diet, or we call it vegan vegetarianism. Yeah. Because of course, if you practice vegan vegetarianism, it lacks some other nutrient. And if you don't supplement well, you are rather hurting yourself. So it's in the mind. If you want to do it, you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prof. So I understand you have a vision to establish a lifestyle management center right here in Ghana, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I do have that vision. And that vision came vividly to me when I got some, solutions for my problem. I said, wow, so we have the message. So Ghana, what do we have to show? I kept referring to a conference I attended in DC last year. And these are, there is a wave of health delivery going on in US now. These are physicians who have come together to form what we call physician committee. And they are using nutrition, responsible medicine with nutrition to cure many diseases, to reverse. And we are not sitting down here just talking. It's evidence-based. They have done research, they have science to back it. And when I went there in August, I was amazed with the researchers, and I talked to many of them. And they kept referring to the Adventists. These are physicians who are non-Adventists. Secular. They kept referring to Adventists. Loma Linda. US, they have something to show. Loma Linda now is one of the blue zones. But in Ghana here, what do we have to show? Our health message is we are losing it. So I thought that we can build a center of influence for lifestyle management and research. It's an enormous dream I have. But again, if Obama told us that, yes, we can. And if you have a dream, and you believe in it, you can have it, come true. The dream come true. So my dream is to build a lifestyle, and not just a lifestyle, a model center of influence for lifestyle management and research for Ghana and for Africa, for the Adventist Church.
Okay.
And that is the dream I have.
Okay, that's good. So I'm very eager about this. Do you have any idea yet where it will be? Any plans towards that?
We don't want to locate it in the city.
Okay.
We want it to be a little bit removed from the hula baloo of the city, the noise and all these things. So we want a conducive, calm place because it will not be a curative. It's not a hospital.
Yeah,
it's a lifestyle management that will have so many elements, like vegetarian shop, vegetarian restaurant, vegetarian cooking school, gym and lifestyle management center, research center, conference room, and so it has many elements. So it will be in Accra here, but not in the city. And it's one of the things that brought me here to Accra also to survey. And see,
Okay. We can't wait for that to happen. I think it will really change a lot.
It will. It has to.
Yeah. So there's going to be a symposium soon in this month.
Yes.
Right? Yes. I don't know if you want to shed some light on that for us.
Yeah. We would like to launch the Lifestyle Management Center, but we would like to do it through a symposium. And I have developed a landing page for people to go there and register. And then I will also be fundraising through that center. Because this Lifestyle Management Center that I envisage will cost about maybe $1 million to acquire a land and build a customized structure. And it will not be it will be a modeled lifestyle management center that we can be proud of. So it will be in Accra here, but depending on where we can get a good land, a good location, and a big land that we can even have a garden and all these things, So we are yet to determine the location exactly.
Okay. So when is the symposium happening?
Yes, the symposium will take place on the 26th and 27th of February. And you know, I have worked hard to bring international researchers, international well-known people. You know, each person is asking for $4,000 to speak in this symposium. When you talk about Dr. Kim or Dr. Bernard, you know, just mention the name in US, they know. Not only US, else everywhere, they know them. And so, but I have managed to get 3 of these people who will be speaking on some of these lifestyle diseases. And on the 27th, they will help launch the center. You know, so and we need people to register for the center. Maybe we need to give the link where people can register. We are also circulating a flyer through the social media, and I think it would be better if we can even type the link and people can have access to it. And so I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link, and people can register. So
you've mentioned these speakers, but what should we expect when we are joining this symposium? And it's virtual, so
it's virtual.
Yes, it's open to everyone.
Yes. It's virtual, and then we are going to talk about one notable researcher who has a lifestyle management center himself in Texas. I was there. I visited the place, and I mean, if you look at the way they are going about receiving or doing their consultation, treating their patients, these are not Adventists. It's like what Ellen G. White told us about our sanitarium. You know, so they have actually caught the vision, these non-Adventist researchers and speakers. So he will talk about chronic diseases, and his topic is a novel integrative health, novel integrative way of taking care of chronic diseases. And then we have people who will also talk about diabetes. We have people who will talk about arthritis. So it will be good for Adventists to come, and these are research-based scientific research findings that they are going to present for us to know.
Okay, okay, that's very good to know. So, who can attend it?
Everybody, anybody who is interested in his or her health. If you want to live an optimum health, if you want to help somebody, if you want to know how to manage. Many of these people, these people who are coming to speak, they have actually worked to reverse some of these chronic diseases, especially diabetes. They have reversed it, and they use nutrition and lifestyle modification to reverse some of these things. So anybody is welcome to attend.
Okay.
Anybody.
Okay. Should we be preparing a lot of money to pay?
No,
for this
it's free.
Okay.
It's free. It's free, but when you come to the landing page, which link we will share, I have a donation page towards the lifestyle management center. That one is not by force, but the registration for the symposium is free.
Okay.
And then if you want to donate, and here in Ghana, I don't know about our Adventist population, I think we are more than 600,000. If one person should even give $1, then we are almost ready to build a lifestyle center that we can be proud of for the Adventist Church in Ghana.
Okay, yeah, so let me just go back quickly to the lifestyle center. How soon do you hope to set that up?
Yes, it will all depend on the donations that will come in. Yeah, but we will not wait until we acquire all the $1 million. No, if we have the amount that we need to purchase the land, we will go about and to purchase it. We'll go on to purchase the land, and then as the money comes in, we'll be building it slowly. So we have given ourselves 3 to 4 years to complete everything, for it to begin running.
Yeah. Okay. So this might be a little controversial, but I know a few people who say they don't take any medications at all. Do you have anything to say about that?
I met, last 2 years or 3 years, I was invited to be the speaker of one of the conferences for health advisory. I was the facilitator, and I met some of these people, and that is what I was saying in the beginning, that the Adventist Church, we have left our health message in the hands of individuals. Some of them are too extreme with the message, and we are losing grip of our health message slowly. And that is not right. It is not right. Ellen G. White said, in 1863, June 3, Ellen G. White was given the vision, that is the vision that has what we call today the Adventist health principles. And in that vision, she was shown that medications are poisonous. She's right. Medications are poisonous. But we are not saying that because Ellen G. White said medications are poisonous, so when you are dying, your child is dying, you won't take the person to the hospital, or you will not prescribe or subscribe to orthodox medicine for it. No, that is not what Ellen G. White meant. And we, like the creative doctors, we advise that we look at what is beneficial. If I have a cancer and I'll take a medication and get well, even though I will have some side effect, it's better than not taking the medication and die.
Yeah.
Every medicine has a little side effect. But that doesn't mean we should not take it. And that is why doctors prescribe and monitor.
Yeah.
So those Adventists, or my friends Adventists who are saying those things, we are taking the message to the extreme. And it's not in Ghana here alone. I have traveled in many of the African countries engaging in these health programs, and I have met many of them. Zambia, Kenya, Zimbabwe, they are there.
Yeah.
Which is very unfortunate.
So you've given us an example with yourself, rheumatoid arthritis and lupus, and we've heard of diabetes as well. Are there some other chronic illnesses that can be reversed?
Yes.
By just lifestyle management?
Yes. Even hypertension. If it is not, for hypertension, we have mild hypertension, and then we have the moderate, and then we have the severe and very severe. If your hypertension is at the mild stage, you don't need medication. Lifestyle modification can reverse it.
Yeah.
And a disease like, especially obesity may not be a disease, it's a condition, but it can predispose you to many diseases.
Yeah.
Obesity is one of those conditions that can be managed very well with lifestyle. If you are obese, and I mentioned a while ago about the Adventist Health Study that we conducted in Africa, the African Adventist Health Study. One of the profound findings we realized was that 53% of the church members were either obese or overweight. 53%. You see, we are going closer to the Western lifestyle. And when you go to Europe, you go to US now, those people are very common. The obese, we have even morbidly obese people. So we need to do something, and so there's the phase 2 of the Adventist Health Study now is targeting the driving forces behind the obesity cases in the church. We have a wonderful health message. Why is it that our people are becoming obese and overweight? We would like to know. And then come up with a proven program to take care of that menace before it becomes out of hand.
So this conversation is getting interesting, but we'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we'll continue with the conversation. Please stay tuned.
Not a job that's restricted to 9 to 5 at a desk. It's not necessarily comfortable work. As a humanitarian, you're on the clock when a disaster happens, and whether that means stepping outside of church to respond when there's been an earthquake, whether that means flying away from a family event to help out after a hurricane, or whether it means my colleagues in the field living through the event, living through the disaster. They still get up, they still go. More than a job, it's a calling. We are called to do what God will have us do to serve humanity, and it happens to be working for ADRA.
For decades, ADRA has responded to some of the world's most devastating disasters and crises, but nothing could have prepared us for a global pandemic. ADRA created 422 projects to serve 20 million people in 96 countries. ADRA pivoted to meet needs with the support of our generous partners. The ability to leverage funds strategically helped ADRA's response grow to more than $26 million, thanks in large part to the strength and support of our partnerships with the Adventist Church, governments, United Nations agencies, corporations, and other nonprofit organizations. For every $1 that ADRA invested, our partners contributed $7. Our work with the church in particular was a major success. Nearly 70% of all COVID-19 response projects were in partnership with our church. Adventists around the world came together to support the mission of ADRA. They came together in solidarity for those who were suffering and for those who continue to suffer, so all may live as God intended.
Welcome back from the commercial break. Prof is really showing us that he's a lecturer. He's really educating us here. Since nutrition is so important, we'll just go quickly to that again. So you mentioned how nutrition affects disease progression and then generally our lifestyle as well. So how do I know what I'm eating is healthy? What does a healthy diet look like?
That's a good question, because if the food is on the table, how do I know this food is the healthy one that can help my health or not? You know, the rule of thumb is that when you have a food in the plate in front of you, you have to ask yourself, is this food, number one, is it processed?
Okay.
Is it refined? Because if the food is processed and it is refined, you know, I used to tell my students that if you take one corn or wheat, the whole corn or wheat has the germ. The germ is where the seed germinates from, you know. And then we have the outer coat, that is the fiber.
Okay.
And then the whitish, you know, seed is what we call the endosperm. You know, once you pass it through machine, you process it, you remove the outer coat, you remove the 100%, you remove 100% fiber from that wheat or corn. And then you also destroy about 80 or to 90% of all the minerals and the vitamins, because they are in the germ. That is where it is. And they have so many minerals and vitamins there. And once you pass it through machine and you process it, you remove it. And then you remove the outer, take a corn and remove, there is a thin outer coat, very high in fiber.
Okay.
You know. So when the food in front of you is a processed, a refined food, you have destroyed your diet. You have destroyed. So I will say that a healthy diet, to me, it's more vegetables, more fresh fruit, unrefined, unprocessed food, low or no saturated fat. Because one of the culprit for our heart diseases today is cholesterol. And cholesterol is only gotten from animal source of food.
Okay.
And then even though we may have some saturated fat from plant like coconut oil, like peanut oil, like palm nut oil, but these are natural.
Okay.
These are plant-based. They do not have cholesterol.
Okay.
You know, but then if you are somebody who eats a lot of animal product, then you are also taking a lot of cholesterol. You know, at the Adventist study that was done in Loma Linda, a study was done in a high school. Roman Catholic high school was compared with Adventist high school. And one of the results that came out was that the cholesterol level of the Adventist student was much lower compared to the cholesterol level of the Roman Catholic student. And the reason is only one reason. The reason is the parents of the Roman Catholic children eat a lot of meat. And meanwhile, Adventist children, most of them are vegetarians. And you know, when you have too much cholesterol, you know what it entails.
Yeah.
It can cause a lot of damage. So, for me, healthy food, make sure your food is not, I will never, if I come to your home and you cook refined and processed food for me, I hate it. You know, it will not, you know, those are what we call empty calories. You have taken away the vitamins and minerals. Every food you eat, if it is whole, has a little vitamins, minerals, protein, some fat, and then carbohydrate. But we have the chief nutrient. And that is why we always say that plant foods are carbohydrate food. That doesn't mean they don't have protein and minerals and vitamins. They do. But then the chief among them, this nutrient, is the carbohydrate. So when you are eating, make sure that the food you are eating is not a junk one. It's a food you are eating. We eat we eat to live. You don't live to eat. You know, so if you continue to eat with junk food and with cholesterol, you are hurting your life, your health. Yeah, it will not help. Okay.
So does this apply to someone who is not educated? For us, we get a lot of education, TV, radio, newspapers. There's information on health everywhere. But for someone who doesn't have all those resources, how do they know the food they're eating is healthy and good for them?
Surprisingly, you know, when I was in the village, hardly do I eat a processed food. It's from the farm, farm directly. But the problem is they also don't have the knowledge to supplement or to complement their food. And so they may be in the village, or maybe they are exerting too much energy, you know, and the green leafy vegetables are all around them, but they don't make good use of them, you know. So those are mothers who are in the village, they rather eat healthy food because their food is not processed. Cassava, plantain, corn, they don't pass it through machine for it to be processed. I one day had a health workshop in Zambia, and then my host took me. He has a milling company. He took me there, and then I was so amazed. I even took some pictures. The corn was poured in one of the containers, and then it will pass through a belt, go to another machine, and then that machine will now separate the outer coat and the germ from the endosperm. And then that endosperm, which is the whitish corn, will go to another machine and it will be ground. Then it will be bagged. Meanwhile, the outer coat and the germ, which is separated, is also bagged somewhere, and it is the animal, those who rear animals, they come to buy those ones and give it to their animals, you know. So if you are, and that is the other one, the one that is bagged for people to come and buy, that is what people like. They have developed a taste for it, you know. So, but especially if you are a vegetarian, if you are a vegan vegetarian and you begin eating such refined and processed food, you are not helping yourself. It will not help you. You know? So let us make sure, let us ensure that the food we are eating is not refined, it's not processed.
So Prof, you mentioned milling. I don't know about the machine you're talking about. The one I've seen, it blends the whole thing, the corn. It doesn't separate it. No, it's together. That's fine.
That's not milling.
That's okay.
No, that's not milling.
Okay.
Maybe in Tema, if you really go to a milling machine, they separate. For the one you are talking about, they don't separate. It grinds all of them together. But they separate. It takes the outer coat and then takes the germ. And then what is left is the whitish corn, and that one is the one that will go to a machine that will grind it and bag it. And so the corn becomes more white. It becomes whitish. If you grind the outer coat and then the germ, it is not so white. It's more or less a bit more dark. That means you have, you know,
so that is fine.
That's fine. That's the best one.
Okay. So fiber, you mentioned fiber. What is the importance of fiber in our diet?
Yes, fiber cannot be absorbed, but it is very crucial. Because the reason why it cannot be absorbed is that it cannot be broken down into glucose. We lack the enzyme to break it into glucose. We don't have it. The termite and those things, they have that enzyme. So, but then it acts like a broom. So that is why we call it roughage. There are two types of fiber. We have water-soluble fiber and water-insoluble fiber. the two of them are very good for our health. And this is the reason why fiber is good. Let me just, you see, we take in a lot of cholesterol. The cholesterol, you know, you have heard about the good cholesterol and the bad cholesterol. The LDL is the bad one, and then the HDL, high density lipoprotein, is the bad one. The high density, the reason why it is the good cholesterol is that high density cholesterol will collect all the cholesterol from the tissue and bring it to the heart.
Okay.
And the heart will now store that cholesterol in the gallbladder.
Okay.
In the gallbladder. And anytime we eat, the gallbladder will now squeeze its content, the bile salt, into the small intestines, the duodenum. And when the cholesterol is in the small intestines and there is fiber, the fiber binds the cholesterol, and then we get rid of it in the toilet.
Okay.
But then if that cholesterol pours into the small intestines and then there is no cholesterol, there is no fiber in your diet, the cholesterol is reabsorbed into the body, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
We have a golden opportunity to now get rid of cholesterol from the body just by eating fiber. But if your food is void of fiber, the cholesterol is reabsorbed again.
Yeah. So, Prof, just a minute. We have a question coming in, so I'll just read it to you. So the person says, we are here to support you, Prof. We are waiting for such a program.
Wonderful.
I am your #1 supporter for this program.
Amen.
And I thank God my prayers have been answered.
Amen.
And the person wants to know, how are the people in Takoradi going to benefit from this program?
That's a question that I don't really have an answer for. Maybe what we can do, let's try and establish the model center, the center of influence, and with time we can now open branches in Takoradi, Kumasi, and all the regional capitals. But now it's money, it's a heavy money. So we do not have money to establish all of them at once. But if we pray, and I will really ask, indulge all of you to pray for me. It's an ambitious plan, but I believe that we can do it with the Lord on our side. And what I will request from you, from my viewers, is that we should try to register for the program. These people I have asked to come and speak for the launch of the center, they don't have time. I went through a lot to be able to get them. And they are charging me $4,000, and when they come and there is nobody to speak to, and this is virtual, virtual, you can just register and log in, and that's all. And they will be happy when they see many people log in to listen to them. So we'll take it one we say one at a time.
So, Prof, unfortunately, we are coming to the end of our program. So if you have any final words for our viewers, you can say that now.
Okay, thank you. What I would like to tell my viewers is that it is said, health is not valued until you lose it. Your health is your life. If you have health, you have wealth. So let us do all we can to take good care of our health so that we can be there for our family, we can be there for those who depend on us. Imagine if, due to my selfish indulgences, and I crippled my health, and somebody needs my help and I cannot give. I have sinned against, especially my family, my wife, my children, my students, my church members. So let us do all we can to take good care of our health, and I know that God will bless us if we do that.
Amen. Someone else says, Prof, thank you for coming. I have been following you on your program Celebration.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a lot of fans out there. Yeah, we thank you so much for joining us. We've been blessed. You've educated us a lot. So viewers out there, if you didn't learn anything at all, we know what you eat is what?
What you eat is what you are.
What you are. What you eat is what you are, right? So let's remember that garbage in, garbage out.
Yes.
Yes. Let's maintain healthy lifestyles for a better 2023 and the year ahead of us. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've been blessed just as I have, and have a good night.
Thank you.